If you need maps in other languages, guides for guests with disabilities, lost and found, and general park information, Guest Relations is just inside the park to the right of the main entrance. ATM machines are located outside the main gate, just to the right of the ticket windows, and also inside the park near the Jurassic Cove Cafe.
The Universal Entertainment MasterCard from Chase. This brand new credit card offers you rewards like no other credit card. As a card member, you will have the unique opportunity to earn points towards entertainment rewards like hot new CDs, the latest DVD locations inside the front gate or around the park, and apply for your Universal Entertainment MasterCard today. The Universal Entertainment MasterCard from Chase. Have fun with it. Welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. If you He said he'd be back, and
first show of Waterworld today at 10 o'clock. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, due to the amount of people today inside the park, it is better to see the early morning performances of Waterworld.
He said he would try to hit a home run for every $1,000 the club put on the line to get him. He raised $80,000 a year. He had a better year than the president. New York City is installing traffic lights. A local principal driver to take pedestrian straight.
Because Universal is such a large movie studio and over 415 acres, it does take an entire city to support us. Universal City is an actual city. We have everything that a real city has. Our own bank, our own post office, our own Department of Motor Vehicles, and even our very own fire department. Currently, all 35 of our sound stages are being used for production. We do have a lot of great things coming out from Universal Pictures this year. Got a little preview of what's coming at you soon. Got Academy Award-winning director Ang Lee working on The Hulk. Film adaptation of the classic Marvel comic book, stars Eric Bana from Black Hawk Down. Academy Award winner Jennifer Connelly co-starring. There's Paul Walker working on Too Fast, Too Furious. These are some of my cars that I'm letting him use in the film. Nice of me, huh? This is the film I can't wait for. Mike Myers starring as Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat, coming out this November. Stars Kelly Preston, being produced by Academy Award-winning producer Brian Grazer. We got a special treat for you. Coming up here on the right side of our tram, you're going to see the oldest soundstage on the lot, stage 28. It's actually built in 1923 to house the Paris Opera House set from the original Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney, the first horror film in Hollywood. Over the years, many nasty creatures have made stage 28 their home. And normally we do take the sets down right after we're done with them to make way for the next production, but we've never dismantled the Phantom set for a very good reason. Soundstage 28, over here to the right with the Cat in the Hat poster on it, is haunted. I see you can see a shadowy figure walking the catwalks of stage 28 late at night. We believe it's the ghost of Lon Chaney. He did most of his monster movies in this stage, so hopefully he feels right at home. Television shows work a little bit differently than movies. We shoot movies in a special way. Here to tell us all about how we do that is Academy Award winner Brian Grazer.
Hi, I'm producer Brian Grazer with the movie Fact of the Day. Most movies are shot out of sequence. Sometimes the end sequence is shot at the beginning. The beginning scenes are shot at the end, or the middle, or the middle sequences are shot at the beginning and the end, or the beginning, or the middle. Sound confusing? Ah! You bet it is. Don't worry, it all comes together.
Mr. Grazer. His office is in one of these bungalows we're passing over here on the left. These were the dressing rooms in the early days for our contract players, which is why they look like small houses. That's exactly what they were when we furnished homes away from home for many of our major stars. Nowadays, these are production offices where writers write scripts and casting directors cast the parts. Got the most famous office coming up here on the left, bungalow 5195 with the awning over the door. Used to belong to Alfred Hitchcock when he was here making movies like Psycho and The Birds. Currently, that is De Laurentiis Productions. They produced Red Dragon for us last year, the prequel to The Silence of the Lambs, and I think Mr. Hitchcock would be quite pleased knowing that we're putting his office to such good use. We've got to cross the border right now from the front lot to the back lot where the world is just around the corner. We shoot the exterior scenes on the back lot, big exterior scenes on a very large scale. We're talking a little bit about the magic of Hollywood this morning. Going to show you a really good example of that. We're going to go through our Metropolitan sets, which we can make look like York Street is actually currently fully dressed for a super special secret production from Sony Pictures that unfortunately I can't talk about. This is a good example of set dressing. Normally the only things that are out here in between filming are just the buildings. Everything else that you see, right down to the awnings over the doors, anything behind the windows, this is all set dressing to make these buildings look real. No, they are not real buildings. I know they look like they're made out of brick and stone, but they're actually made out of wood, fiberglass, foam rubber, chicken wire, lots of lightweight materials. They're what we call facades. That's a French word which means false front. Fromage is a French word which means cheese. That's not important. Usually these are just the front one or two sides of the building. Since we only use them for exterior purposes, we only have to build what the camera will see. Now, New York Street is one of the most filmed areas of our lot. You might recognize it from the recent Columbia film Anger Management with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. It's also used in the upcoming 20th Century Fox film Down with Love with Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor. And if you go to the movies next weekend, go see Bruce Almighty. Good alternative to everything else that's coming out. Stars Jim Carrey, Jennifer Aniston, and Morgan Freeman, and almost all of our Metropolitan sets out here were transformed into Buffalo, New York for Bruce Almighty. Again, coming out next Friday. Good Memorial Day weekend film for you guys to see. Now we have a special treat for you. We have a soundstage hidden right behind these facades here. We're filming a brand new action movie in here today with one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. They're going to use our tram in one of their scenes, so we're going to be in a movie, and they said that we can take pictures, so get your cameras ready.
Late word just in. The path of destruction continues east, causing thousands to flee their homes. Police admit that they are powerless to stop the enraged beast. Military units are rushing to the scene. The beast was last sighted near the 200 block of Old Fulton Avenue. We now go to live coverage on the scene with our helicopter reporter, Kelly King.
We're now hovering above the wreckage of a crushed L train. The helicopter beside us is searching for... Wait! There's a tramload of people down there!
big robot. Sometimes our mechanical creatures can be as small as a couple of inches tall, like the copy dinosaurs we used in the Lost World. But sometimes it can be as large as a full-size Tyrannosaurus Rex, which of course requires several skilled technicians to work the controls. What you're seeing over here on the right, all these cars, these are all mine too. I'm just kidding. These are some production cars that are being used for that New York Street shoot that they're going to be doing this week. Now, speaking of mechanical effects, you know, the original King Kong back in 1933 was filmed by RKO. Some of the newest sets on the lot. But right now, we're going to take you up to see the oldest set on the lot. Up here on the hill to our left is we left the bridge standing as a tribute to Mr. Smithy, although as you can see, in recent years, it has fallen into disrepair. We don't normally come up here with our tours, but they've done something special for you folks today. We're actually using a lot of the lots of film this coming week, so a lot of it's closed off to us. So they gave me an all-access pass, which means that I can take you anywhere on the lot that we're not going to use to film. So not only can we visit the set, we're actually going to drive right across it. We're going to do that because there's actually a great view from the bridge of our Metropolitan sets down below. So get your cameras ready, you're going to get a great picture. Now, as I said, the bridge was built in 1916, making it one of the oldest freestanding sets in Hollywood. You say it's falling apart? Oh my goodness, it is falling apart. This isn't good, folks. We can't back up our tram. We're just going to take it pretty slow. We're going to try to get off the bridge here. Sorry, this was probably a bad idea. Take a look off to your right, though. You can see our neighbors in the distance. Those two towers are the Disney Channel. For an episode of The $6 Million Man. It works hydraulically. Take a look. You can see it pull itself back together as we pull around here on the right. And the bridge is actually built out of a special material that we grow right here on the back lot. It's called Hollywood. Get it? Hollywood. That's my best joke. If you didn't have handles, and some of the rocks up here are made out of styrofoam. Yeah, I'm afraid here in Hollywood, sometimes even the plants are fake. There's a good reason for that. Real plants would never survive the intense lights we use to film inside of our sound stages. As a matter of fact, the forest of being in E.T. the Extraterrestrial was completely built and shot inside of Soundstage 12. Almost no real plants in those scenes. With artificial plants, if a leaf falls off, we just have to staple it back on. Here in Hollywood, we never get any weather, which means when the script calls for a weather effect like snow, we have to turn to our special effects department to create it for us. And this is how they do it. Mostly to create falling snow, we use blizzard fluid, basically liquid soap. We pump it through high-pressure air nozzles. It comes out like foam and looks just like snowflakes on film. Coming up on our left is the set we used to film the scene. We use miniature sets when a scene would be too difficult or too expensive to film life-sized. These sets were used at the bridge of the cabin in Dante's Peak. The little red truck was Helen Hunt's truck in Twister. She's a lot shorter in person. From the snow-capped Rocky Mountains, we travel to the jungle islands of Costa Rica. Welcome to Site B from the Lost World. Let's have some props from the film here. The Fleetwood RV on the left was the mobile lab. You might remember the scene where the mother and father T-Rex push it off of a cliff. Oh, yeah. We actually pushed it off of one of our parking structures. Computers erased the parking structure and added in the cliffside to complete the sequence. The bones up here are made out of fiberglass and polystyrene. Absolutely no dinosaurs were harmed in the making of any Jurassic Park films. As a matter of fact, people are surprised when I tell them we did not use real dinosaurs in those movies. Of course, we didn't use real dinosaurs. Real dinosaurs are dangerous, hard to transport, and a little too expensive to feed. For Jurassic Park, 65% of the dinosaurs were computer-generated by industrial light and magic. The soldiers marched down here to Old Mexico. We've been testing some weather effects out here today because they weren't working too well yesterday. Now, I just showed you how we create a snowstorm for filming. Right now, if everything's working, I'll show you how we create a rainstorm for filming. Everybody keep your fingers crossed. Take a look off to the left. Excellent. They got the lightning working. The lightning is provided by arc lamps. They're intense lights that generate about 250,000 watts for each flash that you see. They're just like the flash bulbs on your cameras. After the thunder and lightning comes the rain. Right on cue. It's provided by a sprinkler system hidden just overhead out of the camera's view. We shoot the water straight up in the air so that it falls down in a natural pattern like real rain. And if you folks have ever wondered what scattered showers are, you're looking at them. There's some up here, there's some on our side, there's some behind us. It was only a 50% chance of rain today, so it's only raining on the left side of the tram. It's dry over on the right. Wait a minute. The water should have shut off by now. Well, that's not good. When it rains too much out here, we can get flash floods. But if you folks are in any real trouble, you'd be hearing a low rumbling sound. Uh-oh. Come down a little straight for us. Folks, remember I warned you might be a little wet today? I'm going to look out back there in the second car. Actually, folks, you were never in any real trouble at all. Not even real water. Just kidding. The flash flood was created by releasing a couple thousand gallons of real water from large tanks over the top of the hill.